Okay, everybody, welcome back to Headbangers History. This is my series Dead and Gone, Not Forgotten. Here's part 4, The Underground and Overlooked. So not every metal legend gets the recognition that they deserve. Some artists shaped entire subgenres, influenced countless bands, and some redefined heaviness, yet they still remain in the shadows. Their impact is undeniable, but their names don't always make the headlines. Welcome back to Headbangers History. This is where we're going to honor the fallen legends of metal. In part 4 of our Gone Too Soon series, we're going to shine a light on the underground icons and the overlooked pioneers, who in my opinion changed the game but never got their full credit. Welcome to Headbangers History, where riffs reign supreme and legends are born. Let's dive into the heart-pounding history of hard rock and heavy metal. So topping my list is Chuck Schuldiner. He died in 2001, but this guy was the godfather of death metal. Before death, there was really no death metal. I'm sure there was other bands, but Chuck Schuldiner didn't just play extreme metal, he invented it. His riffs, his songwriting, his technical approach, it pushed metal into these brutal new territories. It inspired generations of extreme musicians. His biggest impact was pioneering death metal, introducing progressive elements into this extreme music. Some of his more famous tracks are Crystal Mountain, Pull the Plug, The Philosopher. He has so many, go listen. All the thrill in the world can't help you now. He died of brain cancer in 2001, but I want to know, would Chuck have continued to evolve death into even more technical and melodic?
What's wrong with you?
Melodic, mellow.
Try again.
Mellow, melodic realms? Had he lived?
You had me worried for a minute.
Let's try that all again.
Not too smart, huh?
He died of brain cancer in 2001, but I need to know, would Chuck have continued to evolve death into even more technical and melodic realms if he had lived?
My boy's wicked smart.
And then there's the great Peter Steele, someone I listened to early on in the band Carnivore. He died in 2010. He was a gothic metal giant, towering at 6'8" with a deep, haunting voice. Peter Steele was the mastermind behind Typo Negative. His music blended goth, doom, and romance, creating something entirely unique in the metal world. His biggest impact was bringing gothic and doom metal into the mainstream while still managing to keep it dark and heavy. Some of his famous tracks, Black No. 1, Love You to Death, and Christian Woman. His cause of death was heart failure in 2010. But had Peter lived, would Typo Negative have continued their evolution into heavier, more experimental? And then there's Mike Scotia. He died in 2012. He was a thrash and industrial innovator. Mike was a thrash metal beast with rigor mortis, before bringing his insane speed and precision to Ministry. He helped define the industrial metal sound. His biggest impact was fusing thrash metal with this industrial metal, making it heavier and more aggressive. Some of his famous tracks are Just One Fix, Thieves, Hallowed Ground. His cause of death was a heart attack on stage in 2012. But would industrial metal have become even heavier and more guitar-driven if Scotia had lived? And there's Alexi Laiho. He died in 2020. He was a shred king of modern metal. Alexi was one of the greatest metal guitarists of the 21st century. He was with Children of Bodom. He mixed melodic death metal, neoclassical shredding, and thrash aggression into something entirely new. His biggest impact was pushing melodic death metal into a virtuosic, hyper-technical era. Some of his famous tracks were Every Time I Die, Needled, 24/7, Downfall. Cause of death was health complications due to years of alcohol abuse in 2020.
Breaking news just in the rock feed. We have some difficult news to share with you this morning. Some unbelievable news, quite frankly, involving Alexi Laiho of Children of Bodom, the frontman for the group, one of the most prolific guitar players, and I don't use that term lightly, literally one of the most renowned guitarists of our lifetime, for sure. There's a statement that has come out from their publicist, according to Pitchfork, and we have a statement as well from the record label Napalm Records too. The statement from Napalm Records reads, "It is with heavy hearts and great sadness that we have to announce the passing of Alexi."
But had he lived, could he have become the next guitar icon? Like a Randy Rhoads or a Dimebag Darrell? I'll let you make those comments and decide. And then there's Riley Gale. Died in 2020. This was the future of thrash. Gone way too soon, Riley Gale was set to lead this thrash revival with Power Trip. His blend of punk aggression, social consciousness, classic thrash energy made him one of the most promising frontmen in modern metal. His biggest impact was helping bring thrash metal back to relevance in the 2010s. Some of the famous tracks are Executioner's Tax, Swing the Axe, Hornet's Nest, and Firing Squad. His cause of death was accidental overdose in 2020. But could Riley have pushed Power Trip to the top of modern metal alongside giants like Lamb of God and the great Gojira? Let me know what you think. So in closing, who deserves more recognition? These musicians that I mentioned shaped extreme metal, gothic metal, industrial, modern thrash. Yet their names often don't get the same respect as the bigger legends. Their contributions will never be forgotten. Which of these underground legends do you think deserves the most recognition? Let's talk in the comments below, and I will see you for the final part of Dead and Gone, but Not Forgotten. Next up, we're going to do What Ifs, the greatest what could have been stories in rock and metal. Because we've lost so many greats, but what if they had lived? In part 5, let's explore the biggest what if scenarios in metal history. What if Hendrix played metal? What if Randy Rhoads never got on that plane? What if Cliff Burton had lived? Let me know which what if scenario you think would have changed music.